Yeah. Yeah.
What's good? What's good? Although,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
That's that budget we got for our intro for this sports show. Cause Rico made a phone call and pulled our funding for the show since we got rid of him for being a moderator because he don't talk sports. So we had to make a decision to just go. He don't talk sports. Just go.
I mean,
But he
he
pulled
was just sitting there. I mean,
he pulled a Jedi mind trick move and just got the budget pulled for the music for the funding. But anyway, it's your boy King Scrap.
My name is Jeff.
Dok Lou, which most of the people tell me I should be doing this podcast.
Yes, you should.
Because
both of you should. Both of you should, because
and then
I told you.
By my rules, I lost the number spread too.
Well, first and foremost, Jeff. So
yes, sir.
This week your name is Jeff, and it ain't Jeff, no last name.
Right.
Okay. By the way, blow your background up because it sucks. Yes, I seem to remember that I took the Saints losing with my upset pick for the weekend. The same team I picked to make the playoffs is 2-0 right now. The Las Vegas Raiders, even though I don't care about them because they left Oakland, but looks like somebody's a genius for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, somebody got lucky 2 weeks in a row. Check them out.
Hey,
that's all.
Check them out, y'all.
Hey,
that's cool.
Tomato.
Hey, I said it,
Tomato. Tom Brady got 6 rings. Tomato. Field goal kicker miss. Field goal kicker miss. He has maybe no rings. 3 and 5, 2 and 6, whatever. How you gentlemen been doing?
Hey, good, man. Good. Doing good.
Doc?
I thought Jeff would have more to say since he got the victory last week. That's why I chose it. Well, let him have
well,
technically,
I got the victory too because I bombarded your whole point situation. No, I just regarded that. I took executive order. That don't even count. Seattle won, so we both won a victory.
Cam, they had to stop Cam
at the goal. That was a stupid play.
Yeah,
to me, that was a stupid play. For the last play of the game.
It did look clumsy as hell, bro.
They got lazy on that play because it was Cam, and they thought he was going to bully his way through everything.
Right. Well, he
they didn't even give him like a run pass option though. It was like a quarterback power drive, like a quarterback power. Like it wasn't no
and he got power driven.
Yeah, like it wasn't a play action or nothing. It was just go.
Come on,
that's
man.
crazy to me.
Go, just 2.
Yeah.
Okay, say it 2.
Well, I'm gonna go off script because I'm gonna start this off with something I didn't even put on there. But I'm gonna start off with this because I was gonna talk about it, but I forgot to put it on there. But Doc, I blame you for this and the whole Atlanta football team. This for y'all because y'all was drinking something like this Sunday. Because I don't understand how in the hell 4 fumbles happen in the first quarter. You get 3 of them. You go up big time in the game. You get to the end and you're still up 2 with seconds remaining in an onside kick needed for Dallas to recover the ball. All you got to do is recover the kick. They can no longer do onside kicks where they do a running start. They charge on one side of the field. None of that. Dude kicks the ball. It's a spinning ball. It goes in front of 5 of y'all, and none of y'all idiots jump on the ball. But though I blame y'all, first and foremost, all 5 of y'all and the coach need to be gone.
No,
I'm just saying.
Hey, I think Julio Jones was on that hands team out there too.
Julio Jones, you need to be gone for about 2 weeks. You need a suspension or something.
I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna cut you, but you need to be cut. I mean, I ain't gonna cut Julio. I'm just saying. But you know Jeff? Do you know who do I blame for this? For their loss? Doc, do you know who I blame for their loss?
Who is that?
I blame your damn ass.
Why me, bro?
Because the week before you talked about kickers.
He did.
You talked about kickers the week before and said you don't do nothing. You ain't got nothing to do. Oh, you suck. You got one job to do, and that's to make a kick. And you know what they did? He kicked the onside kick. They got the ball back, and the kicker kicked the winning field goal. This is your fault. I blame you.
Look, the guy that did those plays like his job. I'm talking about the ones that complain about their job.
No, they don't complain about it. People like you talk about them for their job. And they showed up.
So
they had to show up and show out.
Him motivated him to win the game just to prove me wrong on the podcast.
Yes, he did.
So
you know why? I got a text right here from him. He that fast. I showed it to y'all. See, one more time. But right there you go. They text me and they said we go get him.
And all I'm saying is Zerline, appreciate you, my brother. That was a beautiful executed onside kick.
Hold on,
he kicked the hold on.
Let me mute Jeff right quick. Let me mute him right quick.
Listen, he kicked the onside kick so good they didn't even know what to do with it. They was just looking at the ball spin.
They was in amazement.
But he didn't even kick it on the tee.
They was in amazement. Like, dang, the ball can spin like that? I ain't never seen nothing like that. And I'm like, so I was watching the game. I was watching the game from the start because you're limited on options. You ain't got the NFL subscription to watch different things. So I could have been watching my team get hurt the whole game, but I'm watching the game and I go to sleep. I wake up and I don't trust Atlanta no way. Come on, they blew the Super Bowl. And I'm like, these dudes blow this game for real. And that onside kick happened, and I'm like, dude, they get this kick. And they said Dallas had been successful with an onside kick recovery, I think since 2014, I think it was. And when they said that, I'm like, they gonna get this kick.
But I knew when I was watching the game and he didn't put it on the tee, I told my brother, I said, something's gonna be weird about this kick. Because even the announcer even said it. They was like, he's not using the tee to do the onside kick. Now, I didn't know that they was going to look at the ball spin, of course.
Keep in mind, Doc, and our little text chat that I text Jeff, was he all right? And he said, man, we deserve to lose this game. I ain't tripping. Later on that night, he posted pictures. Real Cowboys fan here.
Oh, really?
Hey, so
you knew damn well y'all that game was over. Y'all had lost that game, correct?
Listen, as a fan, the emotions that run through you, that was an emotional text.
Oh.
It was emotional. Yeah, I was in my feelings. That's it.
Well, speaking of fans and their feelings, my San Francisco 49ers. Is the season over already with these injuries?
I'm gonna say yes. I mean, and it's not even me because I don't have anything against San Francisco, but
lie.
No, I really don't. It's just,
lie.
It's look.
Hater.
I don't like anybody in the division, the NFC East. Point blank, but the Cowboys. But as far, I just think it's hard to come from. I really think so, man. That's some tough injuries.
We lost everybody.
Everybody. So,
I think even a water boy got hurt Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just think, I think it's tough to come back from, man. I think it's tough. That's really tough. So I think it may be over. But I'm gonna give them some more time though. I really want to see how they rebound. So, I'm gonna watch them a few more weeks and just see. You never know, So I'm gonna give them. I don't want to say it's all the way over. Let me say I'll reserve that for another few weeks.
Doc, your added shots to my misery and pain right now.
Look, I blame the turf. I blame the turf, man. Look, do y'all understand how many players? What is it? What 4-5? It was.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 players, right?
We lost Solomon Thomas, Joey, was it Joey Bosa? Nick Bosa.
Bosa.
Mozart. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt.
Yeah, and all of them.
One more other person got hurt too.
Okay, and all of them were pretty much MCL, ACL, knee injuries.
It was knee injuries, and they said that they told Kyle Shanahan like the field didn't feel right. It feels sticky.
Right. You know, the quality of the turf, and I'm pretty sure with everything that's going on, they didn't have probably the time to really test the field out.
Yeah.
But I blame in this instance, man, I think it's messed up, bro. It's just unfortunate that it wasn't because of play, it was because the field of play. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, they had that issue in St. Louis when all of the players were getting turf toe because the turf wouldn't give. You know how when you bite to hit that route, it gives a little bit. Well, in St. Louis, it wouldn't give. So, you know, people were popping knees and getting turf toe because they can't, you know, do their stutter steps and cut, and, you know, so similar to that. But it's unfortunate, man. You know, I wanted, you know, I wanted to vindicate the victory by playing, you know, the rough teams like the 49ers. You know, there's always classic playoff championship football, you know.
Yeah.
And we probably won't get to see that because, you know, our quarterback, you know, the gas is running out on him. I know my Saints fans gonna be mad that I'm saying that. I'm not giving up on Drew Brees. I just see it. I mean, we see it. Don't look at it from the past. Look at it from what's going on right now and how the team energy elevates when Taysom Hill's under center. Even though he's a gadget guy, but he makes them guys go.
Don't nobody care about your shameless plugs in for the Saints right now. We talk about my team misery right now.
Man, I gave y'all the props because it's gonna be sad that we don't get to play y'all. But you nurse your boo-boos.
Hold on.
Y'all nurse your boo-boos. We'll see y'all next year, G.
Yeah. I think we do play y'all this year, like we do every year.
Nurse them boo-boos
in New Orleans again. And
you know what? We got what we gonna do? Hold
on, you know what we gonna do when we play y'all again? Whoop y'all ass. Do I think my team is done because of these injuries? At first, I was down and sad. I was type of season over with already. But you know what? Nah, I'm going down with the ship. Until we eliminated and we can't go nowhere, we still going to that bowl. I don't care. We will persevere and overcome. We will get the spirit of Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, Joe Montana, Steve Young, combined in one of Jimmy Garoppolo.
With a busted knee.
The knee won't be busted. You worry about your old dirt bag quarterback now. You and him played together with Tom Brady with the leather helmets on back in the day. Now, you worry about that.
It's funny that your quarterback is brand new and he's got the Mr. Glass gene in him.
Let's talk about Drew and that shoulder, how he ended up there in New Orleans.
But he got there and got him a chip.
Yeah.
So we'll give Garoppolo.
He got that chip because hold on. He got that chip because of Bounty Gate.
Would somebody go
Greg Williams?
For this guy, he just busted his knee up again. If only we could put pillows around him.
Greg Williams got him that Super Bowl. Stop talking about my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback. That's my teammate.
The quarterback run the plays. Whatever they do is on them.
That was illegal. That's why they got suspended.
We just got caught. Everybody does it.
From the GM on down.
Everybody does it. We just got caught. Patriots cheat the GOAT team cheat every other year and they get slapped on the wrist. We have no evidence.
Hey.
But we had to be the example. We had a whole hurricane, watch ourselves and whatever.
The Patriots say they didn't have no evidence. Y'all got caught. People were snitching.
Look, we know, and one of them just so happened to go to another team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't pay me no money. They didn't pay me no money. they were doing this. They had a bunny on the table with a bag of money, and whoever did it, they get the bag of money. But they won't pay me my money they owe me.
You know what? I think that's how it sounded too when he was snitching.
Yes, just like that. It was just like that.
All right, fellas.
Verbatim.
I got a question. You're an NFL quarterback, and right before the game, you're having chest pains, and you go to the locker room, and they're gonna give you a shot. And just so happens the team doctor punctures your lung, trying to give you a shot. How you gonna feel?
First of all, that's gonna be a long discussion with my lawyers. And I mean, I'm just being honest, like, because that's something that you, first of all, as a trained professional, I'm putting my life in your hands.
And you go puncture my lung.
Yeah, we're not talking about, we're talking about a punctured lung, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a long conversation that me and that lawyer gonna have to talk about and proceed further. But I'm not letting that just go. You're not puncturing my lung and just expect everything to be, peaches and cream. Nah.
Man, you don't get no my bad for that.
Yeah, no.
You don't get no. You don't get my bad. Let me make this up to you.
Hey, check this out. Let me check this out, player. Check this out, right? See, hey, nurse. Hey, now, see, we were doing the surgery, right? You know what I'm saying? We're doing our thing, doing our thing, right? And one of your lungs is bear with me now. It's not that bad.
Maybe you couldn't breathe that good.
You can still
see what happened was.
You can still breathe, but it's gonna be irregular. Yeah, we kind of punctured one of your lungs, but anyway, everything was fine. Come on, bro. Nah, I got to see, man. Yeah, that conversation is gonna be short for me.
And then especially if you at the back end of your career.
Right.
Like Tyrod. For those of you who don't know, we talk about Tyrod Taylor for the LA Chargers. That's rough. Like, he pretty much was starting because they got a rookie quarterback and they wanted to bring the quarterback on slowly. So, all right, Tyrod, you up. And that's what you get. Like, how many weeks you out for a punctured lung? I would think the whole season.
Yeah, it's some time because that's something that it just has to heal, right?
Yeah. You can't take no hit. Really, you can't get no quarterback sack from that and be okay. Right. On top of, I think he had a broken rib, I think they said. Bro. So it's like, ooh, he might as well have been playing for San Francisco this week.
Man, it seemed like every time he get his time to shine, he can't catch a break, bro.
Oh, he caught a break, all right, and a puncture.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it ain't like his engine.
Rico. Here we go.
That's the name for the next episode.
His engine instead of energy. His engine. Well, I guess your engine.
Call it. It's engine. It's engine energy.
Yeah, his engine. Yeah, Rico. The name of this podcast is the Engine Energy.
Sponsored by Punctured Lungs.
Yeah, brought to you.
That's just unfortunate, man. I feel real bad for him because, like Doc did say, every time and he's a good dude. Every coach that coaches him, they say the same thing. He a consummate professional, and
been like him since college,
right? And like you said, from him being on the tail end of his career, him probably feeling like, all right, I got this year to really make a stand. For that to happen, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, that's cold blooded. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, guys, in other news, LeBron James in a bubble, but he probably think about busting somebody's bubble for doing some stupidity. If you don't know, you ain't seen, you ain't heard. LeBron James' son was caught he wasn't caught. He posted the video. Either he posted somebody he know posted a video. Him hitting them trees, getting his eye.
Even the veggies. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
And I see, I got to text something like, man, you see this? I said, so what's the point? It ain't nothing wrong with the smoking part. It's the part that he posted on social media for anybody else to see. Do you know who your daddy is? I said myself, he probably smokes at home all the time, probably with his daddy.
Yeah.
But you don't go post it for the world to see.
Right.
In that lane.
But it's the youth the youth today, you know what I'm saying? The youth today, they comfortable
posting everything.
Yeah, it's comfortable for them for that. Like, no, you're in another time out.
No, time out, Doc. And your day, you did it too, because y'all was posting on hieroglyphics.
Nah, we didn't post on hieroglyphics. That came from Mars. We was up in the spaceships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We was in the spaceships. We ain't do no work. We was so lazy that we created us to do the work that we supposed to do. And look how it works out. And what are we doing today?
That sound like some niggas.
We are doing the work that somebody else didn't want to do. Funny how it works. See how I put that out there?
You got a point about that. They and them.
Son, G.
They and them is on the sports show now.
Yeah, I think it's something that he just got caught with. I don't think that was his first time. I think he just, like you said, he just got caught. I think that's a kid just doing a kid thing, man. I think because what this is what I think when you come to talk about famous like celebrities' kids, I don't think they don't get it. Like, they know their dad is LeBron, right? They know it, but they don't look at it like we look at it, I don't think.
That's dad.
Yeah, that's just
yeah, they're living in that. So this is like, when you was playing sports back in the day and your team is undefeated, you in the moment, you just like, I mean, we winning. But years later, you be like, oh, man, we was pretty good. I just think it's one of them things where he just got caught up. That's it. Like, he, 15?
Yeah,
15? Yeah, he's 15. Yeah, I just think he know the magnitude of it now, but in the moment, I think he just didn't get it. And then, when you smoking on that, sometimes your thinking can be altered from what I heard. I don't know.
Especially at that age.
Yeah.
Right,
I wouldn't know, though. I wouldn't know things like that.
I wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah, I ain't never smoked or had a drink in my life, so you know what I'm saying, people. Yeah. I wouldn't know none of that.
Yeah, my body is a temple.
Yeah, mine's a temple. It's just got some room.
Water.
Don't open that door.
And he said he got do not disturb signs.
Now see, I could bring up something, but if I do bring it up, we'll get canceled. So I ain't gonna worry about that and say I could be talking about, but I ain't gonna do that. Next subject.
Other people's kids.
Yeah, next subject. Clippers role players are reportedly upset with Paul George and think they're better than him. And the treatment that Doc Rivers gives him, pretty much they're like, Doc, he suck. I can beat it. I'm better than him. How would you feel if you was Paul George or vice versa, the role players? After the performance he just put up in the playoffs.
I think they got a point this playoffs. I'm just.
Hello, this playoffs. What about last year?
I'm just giving them this playoffs because this discrepancy just happened. So I think they got a point.
First time together.
Right? Yeah. I think they got a point. I mean, listen. I played ball my whole life, And
people, he mean tether ball, but he said ball his whole life. People, he talking about tether ball.
The one that they played with, but no, like you can't play like that and go in there and try to give that speech, man. Like you can't, like you have to know that. You have to know that. I done shot 2 for 79 the last 3 games. But I want to go in here and say, hey guys, this offseason, y'all focus. No, you focus.
No, he said at the end of doing the press conference, this wasn't a championship or bust season.
Yeah.
What? That what the energy we got at the beginning of the season.
And see, and what that, but you think that they didn't hear that? They heard that part of it. So they all looking at him like, go sit down. So
because all of them was saying it was a championship or bust season. They was all at the same press conference saying, yeah, this was a championship or bust season. And he up there, nah, this wasn't no championship or bust season. That's basically like saying, hey, we all picking blue together as a team, and I'm gonna pick red no more.
Yeah, right. I think they got a point.
Do you think he makes it? Because I got a good point. Well, to me, it's a good point. That's what I was trying to say, though. That's why I never had a drink or smoked a day in my life. But another story. Do you think? Because I'm not sure if he has a no trade clause. Do you think this offseason he doesn't get traded and he's still on their team, or they try to ship him for a better piece that fits?
That's a good question. I don't know if he got the no trade clause, but I know his. What I'm looking at though is his. How much valuable will he be? Like, how do other teams view him now, based on everything that's going on? How do other players on other teams view him? Do they want him? That's the question. Do other coaches want him, knowing
with that money?
Right, exactly. With the money, but then you're not getting production when you really need it.
But I got a question. I got a good question. And Doc, not to cut you off because I want you to speak on this too, but would you trade him back to OKC for Chris Paul? Because you thinking he's at the end of he can opt out at the end of this year. And Chris Paul has another year or two on his deal? Would Chris Paul be better coming back to the Clippers playing point with Kawhi than Paul George would be playing? Because who runs point with the Clippers?
Beverly, but he don't really bring the ball up. So it's really Paul George.
Who did you say?
Patrick Beverly.
Mr.
He's not a point. That's what I'm saying. He's not a point guard.
Did you see that call my boy Big Dollar Dame sent out saying he should delay his trip to Cancun to wait for them to come with him? So I think I would if I would have to pick my poison, I think I would possibly trade him back to OKC and bring me Chris Paul back. After what Chris Paul just did with OKC this year, who thought OKC was going to the playoffs with that lineup? But I mean, I don't know who you could really trade. What team would want Paul George if he's supposed to be a superstar, paying like a superstar, and you just came up like a role player?
Maybe that's what he is.
Doc, you say 3. I'm saying 4.
Yeah, you really now you're 4.
And then he blamed it on anxiety.
Right.
Because of bubble. And all 3 of us talk about it. We for mental health and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But you ain't the only one that was stuck in that bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could have avoided all of that. Both of y'all could have avoided that. Heather. Oh, Rico, you're on the road tonight.
There you go again, Rico. Flagrant 5.
Moscato and the Vegeto. But him and Kawhi could have went to the Lakers. They ain't had to deal with none of that.
No, they both could have went. Only one could have went.
I'm just saying, either one of them could have went and been voided of all that. But no, we want to play against LeBron because Kawhi got the keychain.
Kawhi did that. Kawhi had the choice to go to the Lakers, and he chose to go with the Clippers. And then he the one who really made the Paul George trade happen because he told Paul, "Hey, I want you to go play with me." And Paul George, trade me, and blew the whole OKC thing up.
Right. So would they even take him back? They wouldn't even take him back.
They're trying to rebuild.
Sign and trade him somewhere like New Orleans or something.
They could do a 3-team trade and probably do that. OKC wants draft picks. They look at Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan could have re-upped. He's going to Chicago now, and I think their move was they probably was mad they made the playoffs. we want to rebuild. We want to improve our draft stock to get players for the future.
Paul George would fit somewhere like Dallas. He needs a point guard who can create and take pressure off of him. Like if he was in Dallas with Porzingis and my guy Luka out there, I think that would, because really he may not be a second option. He may be a third option, and I think people need to start looking at people need to start looking at that and understanding that he may just be a third option. So I think he would fit in somewhere like a Dallas.
I think if you look at Paul George back when he was in Indiana, it was him and Roy Hibbert. Who was the true one, him or Roy Hibbert? You know what I'm saying? That's when Roy Hibbert was balling. Roy Hibbert was balling back then.
Yeah, I think it was Roy. And he came to LA and wanted to be a country boy.
I don't know what happened to him after that. But, but Paul George got that injury when he broke his leg, and he ain't been the same since, really.
And even in Indiana, like you said, if you think about it, though, it was Hibbert, him. It was they had David West. They had George Hill running the point. So
they had a nice squad.
Yeah, they really did.
They had a squad that could get it done.
He didn't have the pressure on him of being in. It was too much pressure on him going to the Clippers because you're going up against the LA against a squad.
Right.
He fits better in a smaller market.
Yeah.
To look like that. And you know who gonna end up being Paul George? Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis gonna end up being Paul George.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be worse because how the hell LeBron gets 16 votes for MVP? Giannis wins the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, hold on. Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year and MVP, and I don't think he was first team anything. How did that happen?
And then they got took down by a smaller team.
No, they won a game that he didn't even play in, and then was hooping with him the next game. Take LeBron off the Lakers. You think the Lakers would have did anything?
But they're a lottery team.
Last season, tell you that.
Miami still would have made Milwaukee still could have been in the East as a 7-8 seed without Giannis on their squad. And then you get to the playoffs in 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Come on, Robin, because you're not back. You know, kind of what it reminds me of. And he didn't win the defensive and offensive player awards, but he was a leader on his team. Chris Bosh in Toronto.
Yeah, that what I was about to say. I was about to say Paul George is a less talented Chris Bosh 3.
I ain't talking about Paul George. I'm talking about Giannis.
Oh, but yeah.
But that's a good point.
I agree with you. Look, I agree with you on that, but I was going to say that back when you were talking about
Paul George.
Paul George. Yeah, he is a less talented Chris Bosh 3. But you can count on Chris Bosh in clutch.
Yeah.
And even as a 3 though, Chris Bosh, and he that messed his game up when he went to Miami as a 3. Like it did Kevin Love. Like how Kevin Love was before he went to Cleveland. Kevin Love was putting points up. So you're gonna sacrifice a lot when you become a 3. But you still show up when it's time to show up. Paul George didn't show up when it was time to show up as a 2. I mean, come on.
Right, you took the position over all these guys that almost went without you.
Yeah,
but
without you, what makes you so special? You ain't showed me nothing.
But like they say though, that pressure is not for everybody, bro. Chris Paul was throwing direct shots to them after the game. When Chris Paul kept saying it's not for everybody. I'm built for this.
Yeah.
Man, we know who he was talking about.
he was talking directly to that guy.
Yeah, he was talking right to him. Like, so that pressure is different, man. It's different. Especially when you asking so much of them. You in Los Angeles now, like you said, it's a like maybe he meant for a smaller market.
And the pressure is real. I mean, that's what gives me when they talk about LeBron and try to clown LeBron now. Why LeBron will not be number 1 to me over Jordan is his shot selection. Like last night, the threes that he taken, and I never remember Jordan missing threes like that. hitting the side of the rim and everything else. Like, I can't say that I ever seen Jordan taking shots like that. LeBron will get comfortable and take shots he shouldn't take instead of doing what he does best, driving to the rim. Who gonna stop LeBron driving to the rim? I don't know anybody that can drive to the rim like LeBron. And LeBron getting those playoffs, man, LeBron, his team might lose, but he gonna put up 35, 12, and 11. And gonna be able to say where everybody else was at. He ain't gonna be up there putting up 4, 3, and 1. Like somebody we know off in the base. I don't even think they should stay in the basement of the Clipper Centers no more. And did I say the Clipper Center?
Staples.
I think I said the Clipper Center.
You said the
There you go,
Clipper
Rico.
Center.
You got one right there too from me too, Rico. Jeff,
Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever you say, guy.
All right, y'all. Let's have some fun right now. Before we get into our picks, let's get into the NFL and let's get into our top 10 greatest busts of the NFL that we think has happened from the draft. You know,
this list has been edited a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I got mine
because
right
maybe
here.
we should have narrowed it down to like number 1 draft pick bust.
Oh,
I'm gonna
be real.
7.
I got 10, and I got 1.
It's really I had like 20 of them.
3.
And I didn't, to be honest, I don't even know if mine are really ranked.
I got like 3 number 1 picks on mine.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't rank. I didn't rank mine. I just picked.
I picked who I felt.
I picked the major ones. Right.
Yeah, I picked who I felt.
Do you want me to?
Who want to go first? You go. Go first. You want to go first?
All right. I'll just run through them real quick, man. And like I said, I'm not even gonna go in a particular order, and I only have 7. I don't have
Everybody
2.
on the Dallas Cowboys. He finished out.
Never. Never. So I'm going with. I'll start off with David Carr.
Is it number 10 or number 7?
He's number 7.
So you got 3 empty slots.
Right. So I got David Carr. I have
Jason Garrett.
Nope. No, we've been drafting good as of lately, sir.
Y'all have though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. So I got David Carr. I have Tim Couch.
Woo! I struggled to put. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got Tim Couch. I have Keyjana Carter. He used to play running back at Penn State. Went to Cincinnati.
He almost made my list, but
I got Keyjana Carter. I have Jamarcus Russell.
Woo.
I got Jamarcus Russell at I don't even know what number I'm at. I really didn't rank. All I know is I have a number 1.
If he ain't
so
number 1, that's all that matters.
No, he's not number 1. He's not number 1.
Oh, okay. Wait till you number 1.
Yeah. So I have Brian Bosworth, the Oklahoma native. He was supposed to, he was supposed to be, it. And then I have, I got 2 left. I got Lawrence Phillips, running back from Nebraska. Yeah, it's a tie. It's a tie. Him, and then last I have Ryan Leaf. I can't help it.
Get out my face.
Ryan Leaf and Lawrence Phillips. They may be tied. And not only because what they did on the field, it's just everything they was doing off the field.
You know, Ryan Leaf turned his life around, got it right, and then went to jail again a couple months ago. Couple months ago again, he went to jail.
Yeah. Again. So that's my 7. I don't have 10, man, but that's my 7. So Ryan Leaf and Lawrence Phillips, they tied. They 1A and 1B.
Okay. Doc.
Man.
You still picking.
I didn't read the fine print. This is a top 10 NFL bust. I got the top 10 NFL quarterback bust. All 10 people on my list of quarterbacks. So it was punters last week.
Well, give it to us. Give it to us.
Yeah, it was punters last week, last quarterback this week.
Right.
Because look,
in this particular order.
Quarterbacks are so glorified, maybe they should get it.
Hey, it's
that
on
could be a
y'all.
whole nother. That could be a whole nother list.
Yeah.
Right, especially after the performance. But anyway, here we go.
That's next week. That's all we got here.
Number 10, Jake Locker. Number 9, Akeem Smith from Oregon.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 8, Sam Bradford.
Man.
Yep.
Number 7, Blaine Gabbert.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Hold on, because I thought about this person earlier. I don't know if you're on your list. What is Geno Smith doing right now?
Have a sip. Take a sip. I got something for you. Okay. Okay, yeah. 7 is Blaine Gabbert. Number 6, Vince Young.
Yep.
Number 5, Geno Smith.
There you go.
Number 4, our favorite one, bro, Tim
Tebow.
Number 3, Johnny Boy Manziel.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Ryan Leaf. And my number 1 is Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus gonna he's gonna be on every list ever.
I'm about it. Jamarcus Russell side. Matter of fact, Jamarcus Russell's still bigger than me right now.
Hey,
well,
you can't sip lean and play quarterback.
No, but you know that he collected. It's probably about maybe about 5 years ago, I think it was. But he collected the other money that he was owed on his deal. He got with Jeff Garcia, to train him. It might be longer than 5 years ago, but Jeff Garcia got him, called him like he was serious to work out everything else, was getting him in shape. And as soon as the Raiders gave him the other payment that they owed him, Jeff Garcia said, I never heard from him again. He stopped working out. All he cared about was the money.
Yeah.
That was it.
Man, that's sad, bro.
Yeah. But my list, well, my honorable mention, they didn't make my top 10, but they was. He was drafted at number 25. He playing baseball now, so he got a job, y'all, on ESPN still. Tim Tebow. My honorable mention. My number 10, drafted number 6, Lawrence Phillips.
Yep.
My number 9, he was drafted in a supplemental draft. Brian Brosworth, the boss. All that hype from all them steroids he was using. Challenged Bo Jackson at the goal line, and Bo ran him over. Go look the play up, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? Bo Jackson ran his ass over.
Clean over.
But he made some movies. After that. My number 8 was a number 1 draft pick, Mario Williams.
Wow.
Where is Mario now?
I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Wow,
His baby mama ain't forget about him while he around here getting arrested for banging on the door. My number 7 pick was the number 3 overall pick, Vince Young. My number 6 was a number 10 overall pick. Got his ass beat in the national championship game by Vince Young, Matt Leinart.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Matt.
I still don't know how that happened. Hurt my heart. Number 5 was a former number 1. David, get your ass hit by a car because you deserve to be hit by a car. What's his brother name? My mind went blank.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Okay, yeah. Derek was a better quarterback than you, David. And he went to Fresno State. I think they both went to Fresno State. I don't know. I don't remember. A long time. I just know he sucked. But also, he didn't have no line to protect him, too. We got to keep that in mind. David Carr did not have an offensive line protecting him. He was getting killed back there playing for the Texans.
David Carr got sacked. I think he may have like the record.
The record, yeah.
For most sacks in the league, getting sacked.
He was, to be honest, he was in fear for his life when he lined up behind his center because he knew he was getting sacked. And if LT was playing when he was back there, he would have died. He would have died. That's why Tom Brady can't be my number one of all time of the greatest quarterbacks, because if LT was playing, he would have died too. Because Tom Brady start tap dancing like the late great Gregory Hines, like Stephen A. Smith be saying. Look at the plays. They bring that pressure. Can you imagine if LT played in the same division with Tom Brady 2 games a year? Tom Brady would have been dead by his 3rd season. He would have died on the 50-yard line.
I didn't say that, Tom. I believe in your greatness.
Yeah, keep on believing in it. Keep on. My number 4. What's that behind me, Doc?
It's a couch, sir.
Tim, sit your ass on the couch. He was a number 1 pick, but he's on the couch now. I don't even think he got a analyst job with a network after that career he put up. I might need
you think he got a YouTube? Does he got a YouTube? Hey, somebody let me know in the comment section if Tim Couch got a YouTube channel. I want to subscribe and see what's going on with him.
My number 2 is he was a pill man for a while, y'all. He had a rough career going on, especially being a number 2 overall pick. And a lot of people's gonna pick him number 1 over the number overall pick. I seen a documentary on it, and a lot of people's gonna pick him number 1. Ryan Leaf. You don't know it. Teams was thinking about picking him number 1 over Peyton Manning. I bet those teams are glad. Teams. I bet the coach. I think it's the situation he was put in, because you got to remember, Eli Manning was going to go to the Chargers, and Archie Manning said no. Archie Manning said, "Now hell no."
To the no. He shut that down quick.
Nope. And do you think that if Eli would have went to San Diego, he would have got his 2 rings? And if Phillip Rivers would have ended up going to the Giants, he probably would have got 2 rings instead? Like,
I honestly think Phillip Rivers would have had a better chance getting more. I think Phillip Rivers is better than Eli Manning.
Yeah, I think Phillip Rivers he made mistakes, but overall, I would take Phillip Rivers over Eli Manning. But Eli, sadly, might get into the Hall of Fame eventually. I think Eli's got to miss his first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe chances for the Hall of Fame. Maybe his 11th chance he can get in, but he got to miss a good 10 years. You know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit because there was many other players ahead of you.
But I bet he get it. I bet he get in there first.
Yeah, he gonna get over Phillip Rivers. Yeah, he gonna get in.
He gonna get in the Hall of Fame his first year.
Oh no, he ain't getting in his first year.
Not first year.
He not getting his first year.
I think it's too. I don't know why.
I think it's too many analysts against him for overall for his career for him to get in.
People that vote.
Shannon Sharp didn't get in his first year. T.O. didn't get in his first year. Well, we know he didn't hear him in the media. Michael Irvin. If Eli Manning get in his first year,
yeah, we know who the football mafia family is then,
bruh. I'm gonna give you my number 1 before I give you my number 2, because I think my number 2 is gonna be more shocking. My number 1 is, of course, Jamarcus, Fat Boy. Give me some lean. Russell. When Jamarcus Russell was coming out after they won that championship, I said I didn't believe he should be the number 1 draft pick. And I remember people, he was number 1, and he went number 1. And, well, look what you got. I didn't believe he should be number 1. But my number 2 overall pick, he was a number 24, 4th overall draft pick. And he's only the ever in history 2-time Heisman. Rico, there you go, another one. Heisman Trophy winner, Archie Griffin.
Whoa!
How you win 2 Heisman trophies and you don't do nothing in the NFL. The NFL career is boom,
It's
boom,
a different animal,
boom.
G.
I can't even do that to him, man. Wasn't he an All-American in like everything he played in college though?
We talk about the NFL though, B.
I know.
Talk about
I'm
the
just
NFL.
saying.
Hold on. Tim Tebow was what in college?
I'm just saying. I don't want to do Archie like that, man.
Hey, I gotta give it to him. Hey, Brian Bosworth was a what?
I'm just saying, and he played defense.
You got a point, man. It's just man, that's a good one though.
I gotta give it to him. I mean, he played back in the day when Doc was playing. So I mean,
He ain't lying,
I gotta give it to him. I got a photo of him and
Go
Doc.
ahead,
He hit with Doc on the field. Doc was trying to tackle him. They both had leather helmets on, y'all. All right, y'all. I think that was a good one though. You know what? I enjoy this one, more than I do the greatest because it's funner because we can crack jokes on we crack jokes on the greatest too. So, all right, y'all. Corona in sports. With the coronavirus going on still, you have teams postponing games still and canceling games. Notre Dame is the latest to cancel their game, postpone their game coming up this week. They had 7 players test positive for the coronavirus. Do you think the college football season will survive and they will actually make it to a national champion, or will it end up getting canceled?
I think they'll end up making it. Now, it may not be the teams that we want and the teams that college football wants. Teams may get in by default this year, to be quite honest. Like, because you just never know.
Or you telling me Louisiana Lafayette might be the national champion this year?
No, I'm not taking it that far. I'm saying, no. No. But I just think I don't know. I think it's up in the air. I think they'll find a way to finish, but I just think it may not be the teams that we expect because you never know what's going to happen. Like, what if it's a week before the national championship and they say they quarterback tested for corona? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're going to hold back on it, those results, and he going to go play.
Yeah. I think they'll make it. They're going to make it a way to finish, though. It may, like I said, it may not be the finish that we want to see, but I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to get it done, but like you say, Scrap, it's going to be some delays. There's going to be some shuffling of paperwork, just to make everything go the way it goes, because that's the only money coming in right now because of the pandemic.
You don't have a lot of fans coming into these games.
Student body. So you got to get it how you get it. And I like you say, Scrap, there's going to be some paperwork shuffle and until the end. And then, by the way, after it's all said and done. But I think it's on the individual, like it's going to be on the individual universities and how they handle their safety measures as far as, the COVID and all the rules that go with it. Yeah. Schools that get more funding is going to have better testing. You know what I'm saying? So, like you say, the Louisiana Lafayette is going to get weaned out by the time, because after you get to the college football playoff, it's about that money then. So, they don't generate nothing. Thanks for coming.
They'll
go sit your ass down somewhere.
Any big school above them, they can have about 15 losses. They still, we're going to pick you over them. Right. I think that they're going to push through as hard as they can. I think it's going to depend on the government. If the government starts trying to shut stuff down again, that's when these schools will. Until then, they go postpone as much and try to make up as much possible ground as they can. The SEC and the ACC and the Big 12 have more ground to make up with postponed games to make them up versus the Big 10, because the Big 10's 8 games are pretty much an 8-game season every week to finish up in alignment with the college football playoff rankings. So you really ain't got much that time to, okay, we gonna postpone the game and make it up. Versus the other universities that decided to start in September. So I think that as long as it's a few players, I think the season will finish. Now, if it gets to a major breakout, that school might drop out, but I don't think it'll be enough to cancel a conference from playing unless the government gets involved. Like, hey, we need to shut down and all this here. And you know, I mean, it's election time. They ain't shut down nothing. Ain't nothing being shut down till after the election.
Right.
Because you got people trying to get in office and everything else, and they care about what they white constituents. Did I say it right?
Constituents?
What I said?
I think that's what you said, bro.
Okay.
We have to resort to Rico.
Rico, what I say?
Final analysis. You know, if we both look, Rico, if we're both wrong,
Yeah.
then you get what 15, 20 seconds. You get 20 seconds to gloat. Or is that too much? 10 seconds?
He fired. How he get any time to gloat?
Well, I'm just saying
okay, people. We fired him. He fired as moderator.
If we're both wrong, we'll give him 10 seconds to gloat about it. But that's all.
Well, guys, you're both wrong. What you said was constituents, which is not a word. What you meant to say was constituents, which is a person who authorizes another to act in his or her behalf as a voter in a district represented by an elected official. I guess this is where I gloat. Ha 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 ha.
We fired him as the moderator, but he's still behind the scenes doing production, so we don't know what he might do in us. Like, actually, he could put hair on my head right now if he wanted to.
Just saying.
We don't know.
There you go. There you go.
Well, yeah, but that's what they care about. It's all about the dollar bill, y'all. You know, it's Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. So that's what it matters with them. So we'll see. All right, y'all. Michael Jordan starts his own little race team with NASCAR. Yeah. And Bubba Wallace has joined him. You think this is big for the sport? It might help out, get more minorities being involved with one of the big dogs from all of sports getting involved? Or is this more of a, let's let them come in, let's get them happy, you know, and
It's tricky.
Well, yeah, it could work. Yeah, it's you want to go, Jeff, or?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna try not to be long-winded because I got my all black on and my shades on. Trying not
looking like Isaac Hayes.
Try not to go Isaac Hayes on y'all with the extended version. I think it works both ways, you know, on both spectrums, because it works for them because that's more viewers. You tap into a market, and we all know that the black dollar is wealth dollar. That gets you from rich to wealthy. The black dollar, because we don't know it, but we control the spending. So that's good for NASCAR to tap into that source of income because they've been excluded, but a few. But then it also attests to the younger generation that's taking over these corporations that are, you know, that are don't have color barriers, that go off of the vibe of people as opposed to the color of their skin. They go off of who they are and what value they can bring. So they're letting the doors, they're opening the doors to the change, you know. And I believe that these are the stepping stones to where, you know, there's going to be inclusion. The shield is, yes, that's spending money, but at the same time, that's opening another avenue of being aware and saying, hey, these guys are cool. They just like us. They just want to race, have fun, and make money and enjoy the family and all that. So, and I agree, you know, it works both ways.
Yeah, I think it worked both ways. I don't know. I'm just kind of indifferent about it. I like parts of it just because we need inclusion, and that's one of the sports that's we've been excluded from for the most part. So, when you look at the sports, the overall grand scheme of sports, you see hockey, you see a few African Americans, a few black people in hockey, golf, okay. But when it comes to NASCAR, you you see the flags that comes with NASCAR. You see those things. So
That element, yeah.
Right, that element. So with Jordan doing it, I like it from a brand standpoint and from a standpoint that, okay, is this a start of, if it's starting a movement, I'm all with it. If it's just a one-off, I mean, but we won't know until we give it time. So I'm just trying to give it a little more time to see how it eventually plays out, but as far as bringing a different demographic to it, if that helps, it's just, it took Tiger Woods to start golfing before young African American kids wanted to pick up a golf club. You know what I mean? So maybe if it takes to see a Jordan symbol on the side of a race car and you see a black man driving that race car, maybe that'll give some of these younger kids, a different alternative besides just, okay, we either gonna play basketball, football, we're gonna rap. You know what I mean? So if we can get an arterial, or not an arterial, we can get that door open and it helps, I'm all with it.
Right, because those kids in that element, those kids are wearing Jordans to school, G.
Right.
so
now you get to see it.
Hip-hop.
Yeah, you get to see it on a car driving around the track with a black man driving that car and knowing that Jordan is cross branding.
Yeah.
His loyal fans, the people that buy his shoes, may not know anything about race car driving, NASCAR driving, but if it opens up that window for inclusion, then I'm all with it.
I'm kind of torn on it. For me,
yeah, it's tough
because the kids is wearing Jordans wear Jordans because of shoes, not because they know Jordan. So I don't think he has that influence for seeing it on there for us. That I think if we see the skin color, that will draw us into the sport, but it won't be nobody in our age bracket. It won't be. I think if we're going to get into that sport, it's some kids that's out there that's between the ages of just now being born to maybe 10, 15 maybe. That's where right now with Jordan getting involved might happen with that, because he probably will pull in other people to be involved with it on his team, because some of these teams have like 2-3 drivers. So I think if he gets a team of 2 to 3 black drivers and we get seen on the ESPNs, the FS1s, your local, if we get seen on these stations, our faces get seen, then it's, oh, they drive cars? Because that's how it starts. You see somebody as a kid, and you're like, oh, really? That's what they, oh, yeah, I want to do that. But if it's no, I don't think, if it's no average, if they're not being seen, I don't think it does nothing for us. I think it's just Jordan there in the sport making money, and it's going to be the white dollar making them for him. I think it's going to have to be us. It's going to have to be marketed to us for us to start getting involved into that. And that's the sport. What's crazy is it started from bootlegging. NASCAR did. A lot of people don't know that. Like, it started from illegal activity, right from the cops. What they want to associate the most with running from the cops from? Black folks. But it was from bootleggers. That's how NASCAR got started. But I mean,
But
that's gonna be a hard. Go ahead.
I was just saying, with the black people love cars though. So and I just wish it was. I'm just going back to what are a kind of scrap what you was picking on. What is Bubba Wallace and Jordan? Who are they aiming at? Like, what's
Yeah,
behind it? Are you just doing it to do it, or
yeah.
are you doing it to really make a statement and make black people, you know, including them in that sport? Or as you say, are they just doing it? You know what I mean? Like,
And, and they say that like Jordan's always been around the sport. Like he grew up in North Carolina, so he said that his parents used to always take him and his siblings to
the
races and
NASCAR.
stuff. And they say that he had a team. I think it was with motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, but he had a team before, so he very much well been in the sport. But for NASCAR now, like, why is it now Jordan's getting involved with everything going on? Like
With
he
all
didn't
of
want a
the
team back
you're right.
then. He didn't want a team going on back then. I think it's Danny Hamlin
Mm-hmm.
that's partnering up with him and his team. I think it is. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's who I seen it was. But like, why now? It's kind of like Jordan been with Jordan. Jordan been had the money. What money did Jordan have this year that he didn't have last year or 5 years ago to be involved in the sport?
He got that PPE loan, fam. Still this shit.
Oh, bruh.
Your stimulus check, you go buy a NASCAR team with your stimulus check when you that rich, man.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean,
We'll see what happened with that. All
so
right.
going on to a new subject. Let's get into our picks for the week.
All right.
We got 5 picks. Everybody got their picks. Doc, who you got first
All right.
with your picks?
What the? Okay, here we go. You can just edit that out, Rico. I was just setting up some. Edit that W, but since I said it, make sure you tune in to the WTF Now podcast, as well as us on the sports show. Go check out some of the other episodes. It's real good. Okay. Picks of the week. What we got first? Rams and Bills?
Yep.
Rams and Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills at home. Momentum, which a home and away really doesn't play a factor, but you're still comfortable in your own surroundings. Patriots, Raiders, go with Cam. Cam was a few yards short of victory last week against the red hot fireman Russ.
On that dumb play.
Yeah, it was an idiotic play, but Josh McDaniels got 2 every game. He's got 2 ridiculous plays every game.
They still
I
gonna
don't
win
know.
the
I
East.
think it's ego sometimes, but
I think all 3 of us said that, right? They gonna win the East.
Yeah. There's nobody in that division that's gonna give him any smoke. All right, Cowboys and the Seahawks. Yeah, Jeff already geared up over there, but Jeff, 12 and no 12. I think Russ has got that sauce, and he is delivering it. So I'm gonna have to take Seahawks in that one.
We know who Jeff picking in that game, so we ain't.
Right. And we've got Packers versus Saints. It's a cleanup game.
We know who you picking.
Yeah.
We know who you picking.
Yeah, it's a cleanup game for Drew, but look, Saints fans, look, we may win. We're gonna win this game, but watch the starting quarterback. Just watch his play, watch his throws. Everything was intact last year. There's no such thing as no cohesion with the receivers. We're gonna win the game. Watch his play, Saints fans. All right. Ravens versus Chiefs, then Baltimore. But I just think out of the two quarterbacks, I just gotta go with Famo, man. Gotta go with the champs. I'm going with the champs. That's my upset of the week. Champs over the Raisins. All right.
Jeff, who you got?
All right. Rams, Bills. I got
Dallas,
the Rams.
Dallas. We are there.
Rams, Bills. I'm gonna go with the Rams for that one. Raiders, Pats. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Oh, right that way.
I like the way they playing.
He's trying to get on my bandwagon now. Look at him.
Seriously though,
Look
watching that game, they just seem like, I don't know, they just playing real carefree. They just seem a little more loose. Derek Carr seemed comfortable. I'm gonna go with them. Cowboys, Seahawks. I'm going Cowboys, of course. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Packers, Saints. I am going Packers. I am going with the Packers. The Saints. I got a quick question. Is Michael Thomas playing this week?
I don't think so. I think he's still
they
out.
don't know right now. It's up in the air. It's up in the
I'ma
air. Which the Cowherd talked about that, about how he could have been playing, but Peyton kept him in a win they already had, and that's how he got hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Packers, and I just think Michael Thomas being gone, Drew is already getting up there, and then you don't have your safety net. Like, Michael Thomas caught 199 passes last year. Like, you don't. I think with Drew Brees, when watching that game, that one person who is always open, he didn't have him. So I'm going them, and then Chiefs Ravens. I am going Ravens.
Okay.
I'm going Ravens. That's going to be a good game. That's a tough one. I'm gonna be honest. That's a heavyweight fight.
I'll get into why that's interesting for the game for you at the end of my pick. So for me,
go ahead. Yeah,
Rams, Bills. I got the Bills. In that one, winning. I just think Buffalo at home. I think like New England winning division, but I don't think the Bills gonna make it just easy for them. And the Rams, I just ain't really trusting the Rams. The Rams didn't show me nothing much really when they played Dallas, and they didn't show me much. Who's it? Philly? They just played this week.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Philly. You know, it wasn't. I mean, they haven't just showed nothing. They just trust them like, okay, y'all back like y'all was when y'all went to the Super Bowl. Raiders, Patriots. Jeff tried to hop on my bandwagon. Yeah, I got the Patriots.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I got the Patriots winning this week. I think the Raiders, they 2-0. I got them going to the playoffs, but I think this is going to be their first L going on this week in New England. One against Cam. Is it an early game or late game? That part I didn't even pay attention to. I want to say it was an early game. I can't remember. But coming from the West going to the East, those games, they kind of, you got caught up games.
Yeah.
So, Cowboys, Seahawks. This game was hard for me to pick. I kind of actually want to pick Dallas, but I'm thinking Russ because it's Russ. Every time I bet against that little short we the same height pretty much, so I can't say short. But he proved wrong, so I couldn't go against him. So I'm gonna take Russ in that game. But if they lose, I'll be shocked. That game, I literally wrote a W for Dallas and had to erase it. Like, nah, I'm gonna go because it's Russ. Packers, Seahawks. Packers. I got that game. I think the Saints will go struggle another 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and then that's when they go just take off probably. Pretty much the division win over Tampa. Because, like I said, I got Tampa missing the playoffs. And I'm going to stick to my picks like I said. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they don't, y'all heard what I said. Everybody win. That's where I pick. I'm going high on everybody. And the Chiefs, Ravens, like this game, this is a game I actually picked. I picked the Chiefs. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take the Ravens because, like I said, I got the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. I got the Ravens to lose this game, and they'll meet up again in the conference championship, and the Ravens will take that game. And that's why I said this game was interesting for me, you, Jeff, on your pick, because you got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. So with you got them beating the Ravens twice this year, which is something hard to do, beat a team twice. Let alone if you played if they use a divisions for 3 times, but to beat the same team twice, I don't see the Chiefs or the Ravens beating each other twice in the same year. So for me, picking the Ravens going to the Super Bowl, if they're gonna play in the playoffs, I got the Ravens losing this game, not by much, but I got them coming back for the victory in the playoffs. So I got the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
So that's our picks. Do we need to get into our record from last week before we go?
Break that down, G.
Let's see.
I don't even remember.
Dot, you went last week. Let's see. You had 4-1 last week. Technically, he was 4-1. Jeff?
Some 1980s hip hop.
You were 3-2.
That's cool. I'll take
Your loss. Well, let me tell you, Doc, your loss was the Saints game. Jeff, your loss was the New England game, Saints game. I'm overriding Doc's picks. He ain't getting us with those, Jeff. we ain't going with those picks. You don't see them going those number picks on there. This ain't you ain't getting us with no debate on Dr. Dew. Rico, there's the new Drake coming out, Dr. Dew.
We got new placement, y'all. New product placement.
I as well. I went 4-1, and if it wasn't for the Saints, if it wasn't for the Falcons mess up at the end, and I'm gonna say mess up because it really was fuck up, I would have went undefeated last week. If it wasn't for that, I called every game we picked last week, except that game at the end. I called that upset pick because both y'all had the Saints beating the Raiders. I called every pick, and then the Atlanta football team did what they did. Bro. And looking at that, it put me off even more. Our last topic of the night.
Bro. I said it on roll cold pancakes, bro.
Last topic of the night. I snuck this one in and sent it to y'all on purpose because I ain't know if one of y'all was working with the man. Rico, you ain't getting in on this one here. WWE.
He gonna be mad. He got to say all that over again.
My mic went out.
Now you got to say all that over again. Cause look at that.
What you heard last?
There was some action. I want all that smoke.
Said the WCW, WWE, Monday Night Wars, who had the hottest show going on? Doc, you go first. Rico, you can't get on this action.
Man, how you gonna talk wrestling without me?
WCW, and the WWF?
No, WCW versus WWE. WWF was WWE.
So you talking about Nitro versus Monday Night Raw?
Not Monday Night Raw. When the Monday Night Wars was going on.
Yeah.
Back when it was Stone Cold, Triple H, DX. Well, they was gone because it was just Shawn Michaels, because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they was in WCW. So, and then Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, they was over there at WCW too, I think. No, was they at WWE? I can't remember. Now, that's a good point. I think they were there.
Man, what if you'd have had me there?
Because I remember the last show with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they had a character, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H got in trouble and suspended behind that because they hugged and everything else. Mm-hmm. But who had the hottest show? The NWA?
At the time, WCW had the hottest show.
Cruising down the block in my 6'4". Fuck the police. Oh man, I was NWO, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Goldberg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Kurt Angle, The Rock.
At that point, WCW, I think Nitro started taking over. Yeah, Nitro started taking over when NWO transitioned over there. So I think because they took half the roster. Remember, that's when Hulk Hogan turned into a heel. For
Hollywood
wrestling fans
Hulk Hogan.
or people don't know, a heel means the person that you don't like them. Hulk Hogan turned for he was Hollywood. Yeah, he was Hollywood Hogan.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
So he had them, and then they tipped the cake when Sting went
over
over there. So,
ooh, yeah, Sting, boy.
So Sting went over there. So I think they had all the momentum at one point, but I just stick with Old Faithful, man. Even though that was the hottest show for a point, I like longevity. I look at that just like Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes. Popeyes was hot for a second, but you can never fail with Chick-fil-A, my pleasure.
Don't you ever disrespect Popeyes in your life, my brother.
I'm not disrespecting.
How you gonna disrespect the spicy chicken from Popeyes with the biscuit?
But
Chick-fil-A,
exactly.
Bro.
For a brief moment, that was the thing. Now look where we're at. So
man, Popeyes still a thing. I ain't never been a Chick-fil-A person.
Right?
Where's WCW?
It's called
WWE
AEW
still
now.
kicking. See, that's what I'm saying. So I just I've always been a WWF fan, WWE fan. I'm gonna go with Monday Night Raw just because that's what I grew up on. I transitioned over, and at one point, trying to watch both of them, I did watch WWF both of them because they still gave us more original characters. WCW never really gave us original characters. All they did was take what WWF had when they got tired and those were on the back end. They just went to
not true at all.
Who as far as character development?
Now character development. Okay, so the wrestlers that they got came from WCW or NWA. They just got the wrestlers, and NWO. They had the money to put behind them, and they blew up like that. But majority of all the wrestlers that they had came from somewhere else.
Well, they came from somewhere else, but what I mean was WCW, the WWF.
You're saying they blew up with WWF. Right.
I feel like, so basically the WWF groomed them better. They created the characters. The Rock wasn't The Rock. His name was Rocky Maivia or something. He was The Rock.
He never was. He would never. But he started off there with them. He never was in WCW. He started off in WWE or WWF. No,
I think WCW had better stories.
Right. I'm just talking about how they built their characters. Like,
but look at
WCW's half of their roster at the end was old WWF people.
So look at Sting.
Ooh, yeah,
Sting. Ric Flair.
Yeah, right. But where did they get?
These was WCW. They didn't want in WWF blowing up like that. The
Ric Flair
originals
was in
that blew
WWF?
up in WWF like that. Yes, Ric Flair was in WCW, and then he went to WWF. Yes, Ric Flair was in WCW first. Ric Flair was in NWA, then was in WCW, then went to WWE, then went back to WCW, then came back after they filed bankruptcy. But Ric Flair was WCW before he was in WWE. Him and Sting already had a feud before he went over there. Like, they'll go back to me and my pops watching old wrestling. It was when Vader, Harley Race, that's when the Force was already there before Ric Flair ever went to WWE.
But do we remember them from? I'm just going by how the WWF built the character, and they right. And what I mean was they had a bigger platform on the WWF to me.
It wasn't so much that it was a bigger platform. The person that was putting the money up got tired of putting the money up. Ted Turner. So that was their downfall, because they was whooping WWE ass in ratings and everything. Ted Turner, you got to think about paying for he was the owner of the Atlanta Braves. He had CNN, TBS, TNT. He was spending all that money. Plus, I think he had some other stuff going on. They said, and he was like, I ain't doing this no more." So that's how that came about. And WWE bought him, but they bought him to put him out of business because they knew that their competition was whooping their ass.
Production value of WCW was so much better.
They bought ECW out because they didn't want competition.
Right.
And you don't want competition because of what? You whooping ass.
Right. But I look at the end, I'm just going by the last. So
Lex Luger. Lex Luger,
yeah.
WCW.
Razor Ramon.
You know where he started at?
He wasn't in WCW.
Before WWE.
He started. He was there first.
Go
look it up.
Bro, he had
Razor
like a 9-month. He had a 9-month promo for WWF. Oh, but he was
He was all these characters that was big before they blew up in WWE. They were in WCW,
and that's why I take because when Razor Ramon went to WWF, that's when he took off. Bret Hart,
but he took off there, but because they were putting more money up at that time. But you know how they would have put more money up was because of one person, Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Hulk Hogan set him up money-wise because before both of them, WWE, the NWA was the main wrestling promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And all of them went through there.
Mm-hmm.
I looked it up, and it says that Razor Ramon first cut his teeth in the AWA and the WCW.
Yeah.
Under the persons like the Diamond Stud and Starship Coyote.
See, but none of them work though.
They are.
So how can doing the WWE in '92?
But this is the thing: the money, Ted Turner didn't involve with them like that until after the WWE already was up there like that. So they had the advantage. It's like my team, the Warriors. You we are above you.
Can you believe they talking wrestling without me?
Say what team smaller? Portland. When they played Portland in the conference championship last year.
Right.
You ain't gonna touch us. That's what WCW was. They already had to catch up, and they got there catching up, and then they was whooping their ass. During that time, everybody was in WCW, but WCW, the thing also messed them up was they were cutting bigger checks. Wrestling for tech going over there. Then they was coming over there in WWE. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash both was talking about the money that they made in WCW was the most money they had ever made.
Right.
So so my last question with this, and then I'll leave it. With WCW and WWF, at the peak of these people's careers, they will always be known for what they did with the WWF.
No.
Like those were the big.
Really.
Bro, WCW doesn't have a SummerSlam.
What you talking about?
WCW didn't have.
Hold on. They don't have a SummerSlam, but keep in mind, do you know what pay-per-view was up this Sunday? Did you see what pay-per-views WWE's running this weekend? Clash Champions. You know who Clash of Champions pay-per-view was? It wasn't even pay-per-view. Yeah. They had it on TV. They took
their TV. Yeah.
We bought you out, and then we're gonna use. They use Bash of the Beach, the Great American Bash, Clash of the Champions. They took they used their pay-per-views. So, and I'm not saying that because I agree with you. Overall, WWE is better for as talent they blew up, but WCW was whooping their ass when the Monday Night Wars was going on.
Yeah, I get the point you making. Yeah, I veered off because I was talking about overall, but I get the point you making because I split my time. I used to try to watch both.
Hell yeah, you had to. Now the WWE had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, but those characters had to work even harder because they was getting their ass whooping those ratings.
That's true.
So that's how the attitude. That's what brought the Attitude Era about.
Right.
Because the NWO. And you can go on because you've been left out the whole conversation.
Nah, I mean, you know, I agree with both of y'all. I mean, with me growing up in that era, you know, I go with WCW because in my era, you know what I'm saying, I started from Mid-South
Oh yeah, I remember that.
wrestling, you know, all the way up. So, you know, and like you, I watched both. I watched WWE and WCW.
Every week.
But WCW just, you know what I'm saying, I had to go with them back. I would have to go with them, but I understand where you coming from as far as like, yeah, they were good, but WWE outlast, you know, and their character development is second to none. Just
Ooh,
like with
yeah.
the ECW thing,
Better stories.
WWE had better characters. ECW had better wrestling.
That's true.
Now they wrestling every match up to the main event was, you know what I'm saying, they was head busters, you know, because they started getting away from the violence so much, and the character build started taking up most of the time, and then that's when the wrestling sucked and people were starting to fall back, like, okay, too much show, not enough go, you know. But yeah,
And then thinking this, when WCW folded, what stars came to WWE to take over? The stars that was in WCW.
Yeah,
you'll be right.
damn near
They
the
brought
whole
them over.
big
They
roster.
signed them and brought them over. And the Booker T's, the Chris Jerichos.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Half the NWO came over. Scott Hall and Nash came back. If it wasn't for that, they never. If WCW never would have found. And see, I think that's what we was robbed of.
Yeah.
We was robbed of WCW going out of business, filing bankruptcy, and being in WWE buying them. We never got a chance to see what transpire from that. And I kind of hate that because the Goldbergs, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like, we didn't get a chance to see all that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. But there you go, Rico.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was a good little ending topic though. I like that.
Wish I could have been there.
yeah, Rico gonna love this. I hear him talking about this right about
I've
now.
been talking this whole
He's
time.
gonna do a whole show probably by himself, dissecting this whole segment.
Oh no, man, we get you. I'm here.
But yo, it's
In
your boy
spirit.
King Scrap.
My name is Jeff.
My name ain't Jeff.
Psycho Rico.
And we'll catch y'all
Hey, am I lying?
next go around. Hey, man, your name doesn't say Jeff right there. We'll catch y'all next go around, people. One.
Well, and there you have it. WTF Now Sports with me behind the scenes. I just want y'all to remember. Peace.
Yeah.
Although
Yes, sir.